Standalone formality.
Not to go ask them cheap.
Yeah, no skateboards on the.
Did you?
No. That comprehensive plan. Meeting for town council. He was. Having set up some work full time for his whole councils. So I was surprised that Harry agreed for him to be the president. Yeah, I don't know that.
You nominated him?
No, he's not president. It's Jerry. This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Warren Planning Board, December 16th. Roll call, if you could just say your names as we go through, starting with Rick.
Jenny Flanagan.
Ashley Medeiros.
Fred Massey,
Mike Gerhart.
Jim Leffers.
Harry Delapost.
and Tyler Dixon is absent, excused. And I think that's it, right? That's everybody. The first order of business is approval of minutes from our last meeting. Were there any concerns or changes?
I would just appreciate being shown as an excused absence since I was out of town and I contacted you, so
Okay, yeah.
shown as an excused absence, please.
And one quick question. It says in the project description for applications, it says 2 4-garden apartment buildings. My understanding is it's 2 garden apartment buildings or 4 garden apartment buildings.
I think they meant 4 floors.
Yeah, I know, because in the, in their description, it says that as well, and it's confusing.
Right. I think it's 2 4-story.
Yes, I
Is
think
that-
that's correct.
Yeah, we may want to check that, Melissa.
Or is it like, in my head, I almost thought like, are they like kind of clustered buildings? So was it
Yeah.
4 clusters and then another?
When I saw the design originally, that we did not approve, it was 2 buildings. Well,
Settlers Green.
Settlers
In the
Green, it's in the minutes, and it says 2 4 garden apartment buildings.
Yeah.
2,
And that's how it reads as well.
but I believe that it's 2 4-story, 2 buildings of 4
Well,
stories.
actually, it does say 2 4 parentheses 4 story. So-
Okay.
So we need the word story after the closed parentheses before garden.
So let's do that.
Just have to make sure that accordingly, the agenda also clarifies that for next month,
Okay.
because it also says the same.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll reach out to both.
Yeah, correct.
applicants, make sure.
Yeah, we just don't want a violation. We just make sure the public understands what's being proposed.
And then under board discussion, it's the French spelling of my first name, which Frederic, you know, I'm okay with. Throw a K on there, if you would, please. Because I'm a Scotsman and I'm not a Frenchman. Okay, is there anything else? Or if not, I'd make a motion to accept the minutes with the changes discussed.
Second.
Second, Rick, all in favor?
Aye.
The application for Settlers Green, major subdivision, land development, owner Last Ever Realty. The attorney for Last Ever Realty had submitted a letter requesting a continuance. Their application was not yet complete. And so this will go to the January 27th, 2025 meeting. So essentially, we're leaving the public meeting open.
That's the public hearing. So
Right.
we can continue, agenda item to next month with the condition that the applicant agrees to extend the deadline accordingly.
Yeah.
Okay, did you get that? Yeah, I mean, the important note there for the board is that the applicant agrees to the continuance and the clock doesn't start because otherwise we're under the gun. So we're not asking for the continuance, they are. But in doing so, they're allowing the process to not start yet, despite the fact that the public hearing is being carried out.
It's a condition of you accepting their wish to continue to next month.
Okay,
It's with that condition that the applicant is authorizing the extension of the deadline accordingly. And that needs to be a motion for the.
I'll make that motion. Second,
Second, Jenny.
all in favor, Jenny? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then
Can I
there
ask you-
again, we want to make.
Can I ask you a quick question about that? Can I ask if there's been correspondence submitted from the public on that?
We're not gonna hear the application tonight. I have not seen anything. Certainly, whatever's on the record.
Because I've had a couple of people approach me about the landscaping plan and I wasn't sure whether any letters had come in about that. Oh, there are people. Okay. But we'll see those when, okay,
Yeah,
great, thank you.
and again, there, that project description, we want to make sure that that says, in the future agenda, 2 4-story garden apartment buildings. The second application is location 8 and 9 Palmer Avenue, Warren, Rhode Island, 02885. Owners Olivia and Umberto Rigo, Palmer Avenue LLC, care of attorney Al Rigo, Rigo Law. The owner address is 5 Strawberry Lane. The project description was a unified development review, minor subdivision between Plat 21 and Lot 75 and Plat 21 and Lot 77. No new lots are proposed. Additionally, dimensional variances are requested for lot size as well as front, rear, and side setbacks. Here again, we received a request for continuance from the applicant's attorney and to continue this to our January 27th meeting. Is there any need for any condition to that one?
Mr. Chair, there's also a 95-day deadline for any minor subdivision. So yes, it's got to be conditioned on the applicant extending the deadline accordingly.
Okay, so acceptance of the continuance is predicated on the idea that, on the fact that the applicant would agree to the extension of the deadline as well. And there we have it. I'll make that motion. Second, second Ashley, all in favor?
Aye.
I have a quick question. It says 8 and 9 Palmer Avenue, but they're both on the same side of the street. So I'm wondering whether they've got the street numbers wrong. I wonder if that's part of the question that the abutter has raised.
Possibly. but, uh,
Okay.
What's the purpose for the this move? Why are they subdividing?
Well, I guess,
Why are they subdividing?
I can just give you a quick summary is, I believe it's just the change of the lot line. It cuts right through one of the existing dwellings. And to fix the lot line so it doesn't cut the house in half. And so then you have to come here, get a dimensional variance for both properties and legally change the boundary line. That's what he's.
yeah, that is in the information
Yeah,
we
there is.
received.
This
There's
is
a,
Property line.
Split line through.
So we deal with both the variance request as well?
Screwed up.
Under the unified development
Here's-
approach,
okay, could we, hold on just a second.
under the unified development application, certainly this board has the authority as the zoning board to issue relief for any variance application in conjunction with a subdivision. So
Thank you.
it's appropriate, and we will have both, first the variances on the property and then the subdivision.
Herb recommended this minor subdivision as the approach that he felt was most helpful to the applicant.
Okay, they're not trying to split the properties or.
No, it's really, if you look at it, I mean, the line goes right through an apartment building. I don't know who approved the apartment building in the first place, but
I
You
would
gotta-
guess it predates zoning.
well,
I don't want, Mr. Chair, all due respect, I
Yeah.
just don't want to get into the meat.
yeah, no, again,
And obviously, the town did get the letter and it does state, we are reviewing an issue ways, the planning board asked for the location of the boundary line. So the boundary line is in question in some aspect of the property, so we might get an answer next month.
okay. First and foremost, I want to commend Jim Levers,
Yeah, I've been there.
who has served with us for 3 terms.
Yes.
Wow. Jim's been a quiet, wise presence on this board. I've always
Thank you for that.
looked to you for your thoughts on what has come before us. You're a very thoughtful and caring person, and you have been, your contributions have been very important. Certainly, one thing that comes immediately to mind is the importance of electric charging stations
Right.
that you've talked about, that really has become now part of how we look at a proposal. But beyond that, a steady and calm presence, which is difficult sometimes on this board. I know I leave tearing my hair out more often than not, but it has been a privilege to have you on the board with us, Jim, and
It's been my privilege to be here.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
And there will be, Jim has submitted his resignation. It has been accepted by the town council, and so a position is now open on the full board, which would be, the alternates can apply, but also someone outside the board, as I understand it from my conversations with Tony, so. This is your last one, Jim, but I
That's right.
certainly hope you are watching.
Well, I
from the
might be
side.
here for some other
All right.
circumstances.
That's not filled by an alternate automatically?
No. The town council has to approve anybody who sits on the board. We did have the comprehensive plan approved. Our last meeting, in fact, the one before that, we talked about the fact that we wanted to present to the town council a recommendation that they move forward on looking at the connection between the new Kickamuit River Bridge, the bike and pedestrian bridge has been built, and the connection between the western side of that and the East Bay Bike Path. I presented that. I wasn't able to attend the meeting, and simply said, could we have a committee that would do that? The town council said that the traffic commission is an existing committee and could easily handle that, and they would bring on a member or members of the planning board to take a look at that.
I think they also asked town attorney Tony DeSisto to look at some of the legal issues around it as well. Because there was a concern about whether if the senior center property was used as a path to Libby Lane, whether it was permitted for the town to put that path across that property because of the use of that property.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, there's a lot of questions here. I have an engineering study that was done in 2019, and Alyssa has scanned this, and you'll all get a copy. There are, it looks, you know, logically like there's an approach that could be taken that would come, the people would come off the bridge, take a left, go through the Kickapoo Village to Libby Lane to Franklin Street. That's, you know, in the absence of any other thought, makes sense, but there are a lot of complications relative to that in terms of, one would be the Kickapoo Village, you know, having a pathway pass through there. Franklin Street has some issues. This engineering study has a recommendation for how Franklin Street could be handled, widened, and bike lanes created for it. But the town will be looking at it, and very importantly, the Department of Public Works and the Police Department, because those two areas are, I don't know if you've ever been down Franklin Street, but that's, there's already a speeding issue there. And interestingly enough, at the last town council meeting, Senator Felag came forward representing some folks on Vernon who wanted a stop sign there because apparently Vernon, which is parallels Franklin Street, has a lot of speeding on it. So,
Vernon's a state road. Is Franklin also? a
I
state
don't
road?
know.
No, they're not state roads.
They're not.
No,
Okay.
they're town roads.
Oh, good. Well, so that could make it easier. But again, I think one of the concerns that the council had was, what's the state's role in this, in terms of funding, in particular? Because it could be relatively expensive, and the town right now is in difficult circumstances financially. So,
Yeah.
but the point is that the town council is now paying attention to this. The town is now looking at it, and that was our intent, to be proactive rather than reactive when the bridge is finished. The bridge is not yet finished, but it's closing in on it. And from us, the money for the bridge was was given to us as a result of a grant through the Safe to Schools program. And so clearly, if you're bringing children from the east side of Warren to the west side and then in the other direction, you want to make sure that all of those connections are safe and live up to the purpose for which the bridge was built, because there are, as you know, the Kickapoo Middle School and Hugh Cole are both on this side, and the only way to reach those on the roads right now is by Child Street, which is scary, to say the least. You know, for those of us who ride bicycles,
Yeah.
it's a nightmare. So anyway, that's where it is, and that's good news. But again, it may not be, I don't see it as being a quick fix, but it is something that at least we're moving forward on. Herb has left the building, as we know. And Allison Ring will be serving as an interim temporary planner for 10 hours a week, I believe. And will be shepherding Settlers Green. So we have, and Allison's experience, as we know from the comprehensive plan, but she's also got a great deal of experience as a planner, and you know, works with Block Island, which is a pretty difficult place to deal with. So that's the good news. Beyond that, that's it. We've got the Settlers Green potentially coming through. Now that's up to them, and we don't know whether all of those boxes will be checked. So there's the potential it could be put off another month, but it won't be coming from us.
Got a question for you on
Yeah.
Settlers Green. Does that have to be re-advertised if it is brought before the January meeting?
I don't think so, because it's a continuance of the public hearing, so.
Yeah, but the public's got, a need to know if it's gonna be in January or not.
Legally speaking, it's sufficient notice to we hold this hearing from the prior hearing that was properly noticed. And that's what the legal obligation is. The initial notice has to go out. We hold the hearing. That's why we do formal motions to continue to the following month, definitely. And then here we are again, and now we're finishing, we're continuing to January. That's the notice and responsibility that we have to give the public in terms of notifying them of this application. And obviously, it's gonna be under Secretary of State's and et cetera. Just all the requirements are gonna be again advertised with the agenda for next month. And they're gonna see it back on that for next month.
So what's the deadline for Settlers Green to notify us that they wanna go forward?
They would have to notify us that they don't want to go forward.
Correct. As of right now, we're continuing to January 25th. If there's another hiccup, they will let us know and they'll ask us for a continuance. If not, it's be here.
Okay, anything else? If not, Mike's wife is holding dinner for him. Motion to adjourn, I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All right, thank you very much.
That's-
So, Jim,